Good morning. My name is Yugandhar Reddy. I have 7 years of IT industry experience. Now I am going to explain about a state design pattern. It is, and there are three concrete states are there. So this is the hierarchical structure. Now there is a context. Context is there. So this context is saving the state of object. Okay. Now what state pattern will do? If you see this example, the state pattern allows an object to change its behavior when its internal state changes. I mean, at runtime, when the state uh, changes internally, so it allows an object to change its behavior. So when the internal changes occurred, so the object's behavior is automatically changed. Okay. Now, if you see this rule, rules of thumb, state objects are often singletons because it uses context objects. So now strategy has two different implementations. First is if you see the difference between strategy and state. So strategy has two different implementations. The first one is similar to state. So the main difference between strategy and state is strategy is a bind once pattern, but state is more dynamic. Okay. So now we will go through the example what state will do. Now this is the state interface. If you see in the diagram interface. Now this is state A, concrete class of state A, state B, concrete class of state. Okay. Now if you see the context object, first initially we are setting the state A. Initially we are setting the state A. Now after that we have a setter method dynamically setting the state. So we use the setter method, and this is our own method. Okay. Now if you see the test client, first of all we create a object of state context. So now we are calling the first method write name method. Where it goes to the state context. So now because we set a state A, so we are calling the write name in the state A. So it calls this state A. Now it prints in lowercase. So Monday is printed in lowercase. Now we are changing the state of context. So now I am inserting state B. Okay, now the context contains state B. Okay, now the execution is done. Now it goes to next thread, Tuesday. Because the context contains state B, this goes to state B, it prints in uppercase. Okay. Now we are just adding the condition if plus plus count less than 1 and set state A. So now the count is 1, so this condition is false, still it is uppercase. Okay. So if next thread, if we pass Wednesday, it prints Wednesday in capital letter only, because this one. Now next if we pass Thursday, it goes to the state B. This condition satisfies. Now state A has been set to the context. That means whenever the internal state changes, so the state pattern automatically changes object's behavior. Okay. So there is nothing. State interface, state A concrete class, state B concrete class, state context. This is similar to the strategy pattern. But what strategy pattern contains the, we have to see what strategy pattern contains. Okay, the implementation of state pattern builds this on the strategy pattern. The difference between the state and with strategy, the choice of algorithm is fairly stable. Means the algorithm written inside the strategy is stable. With a state, a change in the state of the context object causes to select from its palette of strategy objects. That means if you see the state, the internal change will occur dynamically. But with strategy, there is no internal changes occurs. So that means if you see, the strategy is static and state is dynamic. So this is the main difference. So where can we apply the state pattern? So an object's behavior depends on its state. Suppose if the object's behavior depends on its state, and it must change its behavior at runtime depending on the state. Suppose if the operations have large and multi-part conditional statements that depend on the object's state, then state pattern is very useful. Okay. Thank you for watching my video. If you have any doubts, please mail to me yugandhar.java@gmail.com. Thank you.